Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. Today, I'm bringing you some more political banter. I mean, if I call myself politics, I got to get into some of the controversy. Listen, I wasn't a big TikTok user, even though I did have an account, and I had some content up there. But I was just playing with it, kind of like I'm doing with YouTube. I got a few subscribers. I got a show that I do, but does anybody really believe that in a contentious government that we have, Democrats, Republicans, conservatives, liberals, that all of a sudden, when it comes to TikTok, they had a bipartisan law, a bill that they passed through the House, they passed through the Senate, they got it signed by, a guy who can't even remember his last name as the president, and uh, they banned a social media platform that disenfranchises 107 170 million Americans. And do you really believe it's because it's a security issue with China? I mean, China has all your information already. They have a profile on all Americans already. This is just pure horseshit that they were worried about national security with China having access to the data. They have the data. I mean, TikTok has billions and billions of data that flowed through it over the years. It didn't take China that long to have a profile on how Americans think, how we act, what we eat, what we say, the fact that we hate each other, all kinds of shit. They have all that information, right? What they can get in the future is just going to be more of the same. They actually banned TikTok because they wanted to not only just limit your free speech, but actually take it away. With all the other shit going on, with everything crumbling around us, all of a sudden they found a bipartisan way to shut you up. Now, there's a not so hidden hand on why they did it. And so I'm not going to say why, but I do have a person who will tell you why. And I'm a player in just a minute. But I mean, I think one of the things that's wrong with us as Americans, we really think that we're so free, and our government just uh, takes us for granted. Just like, the Democrat Party takes blacks for granted, the entire government takes the American taxpayer for granted. They take our money, they send it to foreign lands by the billions and the trillions. They start wars. They sacrifice your sons and daughters. They do all that kind of stuff and things that we don't even want. They lie to us on a regular basis. I mean, we have to really consider, are we, I think it's a trade off, right? Our freedom we seem free because we could travel east to west, north to south. We could do a lot of things that in other countries you can't do. But the truth of the matter is, we're still in the matrix as well. Our matrix is just a little bit different, but we're in it. You know, we are in it, and it's a constant battle for us to enjoy the freedoms that we do enjoy. But they're eroding very, very fast, and I think, well, now let me take that back. They're eroding slow enough, like the frog in the heating pot of water, right? The heat is being increased so slow they can't tell that they're gonna boil to death, right? That's what's going on. Now, I'm older, but for my kids and the younger folks, Gen Zs and the alphas that's coming behind them, listen, they're setting everything up because you scare them. They'll say what y'all want to say. Y'all are not beholden to the people that the government is beholden to. And you share that on TikTok. And by sharing that on TikTok, besides the stupid videos and all that other dumb shit y'all put on TikTok, y'all said some things that was dangerous, to entities that have our politicians bought and paid for. And so I'm gonna let Candace Owens tell you why TikTok was banned. And she, tongue in cheek, because she's on her thing. And let me tell you, the reason why she's still up is because she's telling the truth, right? She's telling the truth. And then there's another lady who puts it in, not talking about who's at fault, except that our government officials, what they are not looking at, just so they could shut you up. And it's more poignant. So I got two ladies coming at you with some real information that that should make you upset. It really should make you upset. I don't know who's going to see this. I mean, but I'm gonna put it out anyway. I'm gonna share it with whoever I share it with. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Put some comments in the comment block. If you even get past this little monologue I have, I think this is important to all of us. I think we need to talk about how the government, with a stroke of a pen or several pens, can tell 170 million of us that we can no longer talk to each other on a social media platform. And nobody is saying any, I mean, no, I mean, people's livelihoods are gone. And it's not even about their livelihood, because more important than that is their free speech is gone. A whole platform is gone because our politicians decided that they didn't want us to post on a platform. And the Chinese thing is just a big ass smokescreen. It's gaslighting us. It's smokescreen. You can't believe that they're worried about China, right? With China, the information flow and security is like mutual assured destruction. They got stuff on us. We got stuff on them. They ain't worrying about our stupid data. China already has it. Already have it. They already have it. Well, anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and play Candace Owens. I'm gonna let her talk a little bit, and then I'm gonna play another lady, and I forgot her name, but I'll put her both links in the description. And you know, you can listen to them, and you can believe or not believe, but some real dope information that Candace is going to give you. And the other lady is, yeah, they're focusing on taking your free speech and fiddling while the country is burning and flooding and all other kind of things. All right, so here goes. First up, Candace Owens.
James Bond era. I'm working for everybody and nobody at the exact same time. So, to what do I owe this later honor? Okay. Well, I signed up for Red Note, as I said at the top of the show. That is the Chinese app that TikTokers are now flooding to in anticipation of the ban, which is scheduled to take effect this Sunday, unless a Supreme Court miracle takes place, meaning that the highest court in the land would have to move to block it. TikTok is going to otherwise shut its application for US users. And yeah, there you go. We have a federal ban. And that feels like it is creeping onto our free speech. President Joe Biden last April signed the law in requiring ByteDance to sell its U.S. assets by January 19th, 2025, or they would face a nationwide ban. And it looks like the Supreme Court, by the way, is inclined to uphold the law, despite the fact that I will say Donald Trump has come in and said he'd like the deadline to at least be extended so that he can get into office and take a look at it. Now, some people might be asking, and I think it's a fair question, Candace, you are America first. You bill yourself as America first. How could you do this? Okay. So I'm going to explain to you why. First and foremost, because it's funny. Okay. I have a very good sense of humor, and the federal government playing whack-a-mole with Gen Z is objectively hilarious. Oh, we're going to get rid of this one. Boop. They pop up and they found another one and they're posting, and the posts are hilarious. We're going to get into it. And just to remind you, yesterday we discussed this, the origin of all of this. Obviously, absolutely no person with a clear thinking mind believes what they are trying to sell us right now, that this move was done because the government is just so concerned about our data. Oh, they're so suddenly concerned about, oh, we don't want China, China bad. They always like pick the boogeyman, China, Russia, whatever it is that they think people will just accept, right? We all know it's happening because of Israel, which controls the United States government via aggressive lobbying. They're concerned about which way the wind is blowing. We showed you that tape yesterday of Jonathan Greenblatt from the ADL freaking out about not being able to control the thoughts of Gen Z. We have a generational problem, he said. TikTok is crazy. They're all pro-Palestinian. And I also want to jog your memory because they went so far as to say in the short term, which TikTokers notice, they were already suppressing speech, right? So this is because otherwise people will say, you're making this up. You have to show the evidence here. Israeli officials were bragging about their ability to control speech, both on college campuses, getting various groups shut down that were pro-Palestinian, and also on social media. And so this clip I'm showing you, we showed you, I think, last year. It's Amikai Sheikli. I don't know if I'm saying his name correct. Anyways, he is the head minister of diaspora affairs and anti-Semitism. And he was speaking with the Jerusalem Post about their successful effort to censor speech that they claim is anti-Semitic on TikTok. Take a listen.
We work regularly with the leadership of various social organizations. We had a lot of correspondence, especially with TikTok, because TikTok was very, very problematic, especially at the beginning of the war. They have taken a lot of steps to try and prevent anti-Semitism to go widely in their platform. It is better now than it was 10 months ago, but still there's a lot of work to do, especially, by the way, especially on X. And actually, when you look at the recent trends of anti-Semitism in North America, we're seeing influencers such as Candace Owens, such as Tucker Carlson, who is a leading leader, an influencer, hosting someone who is a Holocaust denier. And I reacted publicly on his statements, and I think it was a disaster. And this is very, very problematic. So when I see Tucker Carlson, who is such an influencer and is a key role in the right-wing political dimension of America, hosting someone who is a Holocaust denier, we're not silenced about it, not at all. And same goes to Candace Owens.
All right, we hear you loud and clear. Like I'm saying, they were doing this in plain sight. Obviously, they rushed. The Congress passed it. Oh my gosh, we have to deal with TikTok because they have wrong ideas. Generation Z is problematic. And so here's the thing. You're not going to now gaslight these same people. You're not going to gaslight them by telling us that the government was totally cool with Facebook and the CIA and the NSA. Shout out to Edward Snowden, by the way, stealing our data, spying on Americans. Yeah, the government was totally cool. Nothing had to be done urgently. And now all of a sudden it does. That really is just government level gaslighting. China is the enemy. And as our government behaves like, well, China, actually, ironically, it seems like they're taking a cue from China at the moment. The government pitch to you right now is let us abuse you and control your speech, not China. Let us do it. Okay, maybe. Sure. What do we get in return? What do we get in return? Maybe I would let our government abuse us. We've been doing that for a long time, but we want to know what we get in return. Here's what they say to us. They say, you're going to get high taxes, unaffordable living expenses, never-ending wars that we expect you to die in that don't help your country whatsoever. You're going to get open borders. You're going to get filthy, crime-ridden cities. You're going to get students who can't pass basic literacy exams. And in the process, we'll also call you racist, transphobic, and now anti-Semitic. In the process, also, we will be forcing some vaccines into your arm. That's the trade-off, guys. You get to be patriotic. Because the last thing they just ask you to do is also give them all of your data, right? Why aren't you feeling patriotic to give the government all of your data? Yeah, shockingly, that pitch was not a convincing enough argument for Gen Z. They just want to say stuff on the internet while everything around them is burning. So they are signing up to Red Note, and it is pointedly hilarious, okay? China.
I'm gonna leave that right there. So she points the finger directly where it belongs, and and I agree with her, right? But there you go. This whole thing about China it's just really just bullshit. It's just bullshit. you know, in terms of them being the reason why they silenced 170 million Americans on social media. That tells you how tenuous your freedom really is, right? So if they can quell your language on this mass scale, they can take your guns. They can come up with a reason to take your guns. They could come up with a reason to take your freedom. They can come up with a reason to do everything, right? And they can get it signed into law. And it's just you can rationalize almost anything, right? So here you go. So this is really this is a bigger deal than people really want to give it credit for. I mean, it's huge, man. I think this is what we just saw with banning TikTok is probably is probably more than just a little sign that the America we thought we had is actually no longer exists. It really doesn't. I mean, it's just a big deal. Anyway, so I have another lady. She puts it in. This is a reason. Candace offers up her reason why they banned TikTok. You could believe it or not, right? It makes more sense than us worrying about China, right? So here's another lady talking about what we should be focusing on if we had a working government, right? As opposed to uh, them just getting together after fighting like cats and dogs. Now they can get together to quell your free speech, but the rest of the country is burning. Okay. So I'm going to share this lady with you. I don't know her name off the bat, but we're going to share her with you. And we're going to let her speak her little mind. It's not that long. So here we go.
If TikTok being banned does not radicalize you as an American citizen, you are intentionally missing the point, because it's not about TikTok. It's the fact that Republicans and Democrats across all legislative branches can expeditiously and unanimously pull together like never before, and probably never again, to streamline legislation banning a social media app while completely ignoring everything important to us. They can't pull together to make sure my kids don't get shot while they go to school, to fix the economy, to mandate livable wages, to kick hedge funds out of single family homes so I can afford my fucking mortgage again. They're doing fuck all about homeowners insurance, stealing billions of dollars from Americans and then leaving them for dead while their homes wash away in a flood or burn to the fucking ground in a fire. They, like every other country, can't pull together to outlaw the poisonous substances that are put into our food, creating an epidemic of obese, diabetic, cancerous Americans who need to lean on a healthcare system. They do fuck all the mandate in way of quality of service or cost. They won't give us free healthcare. They won't invest in infrastructure or education, but all of their efforts collectively go to banning a social media app. California is on fire. North Carolina and Tennessee washed away. New Jersey has geoplasmic orbs over it. Our kids get shot in school, and our economy is on the brink of fucking collapse. But their top priority is banning social media. That's where the effort goes. If TikTok being
Short and sweet, right? There you have it. I mean, I don't know what else to say myself, other than it's very, very disappointing, the pickle that they have us in. And I think hopefully, as Americans, we'll come to the realization that we're really not that free, right? We're really not that free. We're not free at all. Our pain, marriage, politics, and sports, over and out.